Me growing up, yeah, you could say it was different to a lot of people in the sense that it was me, my brother and my sister. Luckily, we managed to stay together in that process, which was a blessing really, because you do see like a lot of children, especially in the foster care system, when they go in as siblings, they tend to get split up. We were with 3 different families, so it ended when I was 18. Legally, that's when kind of the foster care system stops and you go out into the real world.
Changes is inevitable. Growth is optional. This is a quote written by John C. Maxwell, as today's video is linking directly to a player with Jamaica heritage. I mean, I have heard a lot of Jamaicans talking about the likely call-ups for Junior Flemings and also Trevante Stewart. But I am not hearing anyone talking about a Lloyd Kelly. Greetings and welcome to another episode on Premier 7, everyone. I am your host, Ryan Nelson, the presenter for the day, as usual. I hope that you all are having a time of peace because today is the 1st of October, just a few days away from the restart of World Cup qualifiers, whereas the Jamaica men's national team will be back in action. And if we can win these 2 upcoming games in this particular period, then we would more so have both feet in the World Cup. And people, I wish and I want to see my national team a part of the World Cup for the second time. People, today's topic though is one that points directly to strengthening the Jamaica men's national team with the topic. Here's why Lloyd Kelly could have been Jamaica's defensive wall. If you're new to Premier 7, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, then you know what to do. Seeing that Premier 7 is on the road to 3,000 subscribers, without the help of you guys, this channel will not be where I would love to see it. All right. So, of course, before I dive into the details, I just want to showcase to you the contents of a video that I have done, I think yesterday, on the man himself, Ronaldo Cephas. And the video has been getting some traction, so which I applaud. So far, 385 views in 21 hours. The topic was all about the tactical fixes that will make Ronaldo Cephas shine for the Jamaica men's national team. You're seeing 18 likes, so therefore persons are being engaged with the video. But that was for Cephas, and today is for the man himself, a Lloyd Kelly. Kicking things off with background and Jamaican link. But before I talk about that, what do you know about Lloyd Kelly? Do you know about his background? Do you know about the clubs that he used to play for before he went to and currently representing Juventus? Well, today on Premier 7, I am here with the details as usual. So you probably know him as a centre back for Juventus, as I have said. He was born in Bristol, England on October the 6th, 1998. Of course, he's of Jamaican descent, right? And that is something that we have to applaud because Jamaica do have a lot of persons who could have represented us because of the diasporic connections that we have. So Kelly is not a different case. But I mean, I talked about he was born in Bristol I mean, his Bristol career was also for Bristol City. In 2017 to 2019, 43 appearances, 2 goals. Also, he moved over to AFC Bournemouth, 131 games, a lot of games underneath his belt, 2 goals between 2019 to 2024, then to Newcastle, 2024 to 2025. Small stint of 10 games, no goals, now to Juventus, but first on loan, 12 games, and now still at the club, 5 games this season, inclusive of all competitions, 1 goal. So he's currently a player at Juventus. And that shows that for me, he do have that capability to adapt because the move from England to an Italian nation, the white lady, very strong, well, the old lady, a very strong club in Italy, if not one of the best, if not the best for some, and to stand out in his own way, it is something remarkable. And of course, he was purchased for about 17 million pounds, that inclusive of add-ons when he left from Newcastle, because I think he had a good loan stint at Juventus. Also, seeing that key players were also injured, so it was a massive opportunity for him to make his name known. And of course, being a player who represented England as well at the under 20s, under 21s. I mean, nothing has changed really because he has not played for the senior team for England. So Jamaica still have a chance, but is it the right time to look into calling up this player? Then again, maybe some documentations would have to be sorted out, but this may not happen this time. But we have to look also for the future because this guy is about 26, 27, a very crucial player because this guy is backed to known as someone with versatility, mainly as a centre back, left footed, who could be a starter above Ethan Pinnock or a backup for an Ethan Pinnock. A good player in the air, good speed, reading the game quite well. And I'm going to touch more in details on that. So the impact that he have at Juventus. I talked about he signed for about 17 million pounds, which includes add-ons, and key defenders like Bremer and Cabal was injured within that time, and both I think were centre backs and also left back. I know for sure Bremer is a centre back, and in that case, knowing how flexible or versatile a Lloyd Kelly is, he can play both at centre back and also at left back. So this is something that I think all coaches would consider, if they don't know much about a player in terms of their major strengths. Once a coach hears about versatility, then it is like something that would say, all right, I am hearing something good. How about looking on what this guy can do with a few games? So you're seeing on screen, he can play the two positions at centre backs and also as left back. And so far in the Champions League, 2 appearances. He played today on the 1st of October, 2025. 100% starting 11, 100% minutes, 33% goal participation, seeing that he scored 1 goal and made an assist as well. So this guy is an option. That could have been a defensive wall for Jamaica. And if you do agree, people, please go ahead and smash a like on the video. Also, drop your comments to let me know what you think so far. I mean, I talked about the fact that he played in the championship with Bristol City, also for Bournemouth in the Premier League and before, you know, and then Newcastle United. It shows that this guy is a very decent option that I think Jamaica should have taken advantage of. I think Jamaica, in quotation, tried, but I don't know what happened in or pertaining to the downfalls as to why he was not in the squad or has not been in the current squad. So one of the most notable moments was on the 16th of September 2025 when he scored a very crucial goal, equalizer in stoppage time, 4-4, against Borussia Dortmund, who was leading Juventus by 4 goals to 2. Another big one was that he scored against Inter Milan in Serie a 4-3 victory. Soon before that showed he can contribute offensively too when needed. So imagine scoring against stronger oppositions or very strong oppositions in a Borussia Dortmund Champions League finalist, I think a year or a few before, standing out against Inter Milan, which have defenders like Bastoni, Dumfries, those strong candidates. And the scoring as well. I think Jamaica would do well, but Ethan Pinnock and Damian Lowe also have that capability to score goals. But just imagine one of them are not available and you start a Lloyd Kelly, or let's say one of them are injured and you brought in a Lloyd Kelly, still have that threat in scoring goals. So I mean, he is a very decent contributor offensively and also defensively. He's a balanced player, a player who I thought that can even hit a higher ceiling if all goes well with his um career. Now I just want to talk about more of his strength as a defender because he's not a striker, he's not a forward line, he's not a midfield player. So why speak more on his offensive quality? He can be compared to one of his former teammates in a Fabian Scheer, a very powerful, strong defender at Newcastle, who plays well season in, season out. Also compared to Ronald Araujo, the captain, I think, for Barcelona, who lost against um, PSG in the Champions League today. But it's just comparing how important this player can be. Also compared to one of Arsenal's most, if not the most dominant centre back right now, and consistency is key for him, a Gabriel Mangales. This guy in a Lloyd Kelly is compared to them. Looking on his percentile, what stands out the most? Aerial duels 191 percentile, so Jamaica would have benefited from this. Progressive passes recorded 96 percentile, touches 92 percentile, shots created in action 82 percentile. A little bit of downfall in regards to his passing completion, successful takes on. Well, the successful take on, I can see with that he's not a forward player. Blocks is not his major strength, so I think he would have to be paired with a Damian Loeb. Then again, he's left-footed, so I could not start him alongside an Ethan Pinnock, but he would get the assistance from a Damian Lowe or a Richard King, maybe Mason Holgate as well, depending on who is being selected. His interception needs to be strengthened, but it's all about complementing a defender because it's a partnership in a back two. So you cannot expect for a defender to be good in all things, but some key things about this player that stands out is the fact that he's good in terms of passes, but also his aerial duels is very good and is good in the box as well. He can contribute goal wise. So I think this player is a quality player that Jamaica was trying at, or if not tried at, should have been looking into. I understand that this guy do have injury concerns in the past, but I mean, he's currently starting for Juventus in almost all games. So there's nothing about him to say now that he's not um in the rightful state to represent a national team. Tactically, of course, based on strength, he reads the game quite well. So even though you saw that few, what would I say now, not so convincing parts of his, not stats, but his attributes, he is a good player who reads the game well, quick to adjust, cover spaces because he has speed. He have some good slide tackles as well, and he knows how to cover from behind and step up. He builds up well from the back. You saw the recorded passing completion. So he's comfortable passing the ball. He have some very good diagonal crosses as well when needed. Our player like Cephas, you can switch the ball to a Cephas who is very good in terms of his control. Bailey as well, Demarai Gray as well. So I mean, this guy would have contributed well, and he would have been a valuable player in the modern day football, especially in a defensive line that presses well. Now, every player do have their challenges. I mean, he had some criticism earlier on when he debuted against Como. I mean, players do have those type of days, but we cannot use this to define entirely what a Lloyd Kelly has been, because he has been performing even more better than those past um, shaky experiences. But the signs of growth are there. So, he's contributing in terms of growth, his performance improved, his discipline, he's not injury prone, and he's considered as a trusted player in games. So why not? Why not? Right? So also now looking on what he could have brought to the Jamaica men's national team. And I have something here for you guys in terms of a comparison statistically with Jamaica's three, or which some persons would say three best centre backs in a Ethan Pinnock, a Damian Lowe, and a Mason Holgate. Some would choose a Richard King, but these guys have way more experience, way more um well, let's stick to experience than a Richard King in the higher league. So I would go for these three. Now looking on them compared to a Lloyd Kelly, we're seeing here that on screen Lloyd Kelly, only for a Damian Lowe to be more outstanding than him in last year's competition. Let me just adjust the one for Ethan Pinnock first before I conclude with such statement. So we're seeing here that the standout candidate here on screen is a Damian Lowe, followed by an Ethan Pinnock. So he's doing more better than a Mason Holgate, who never really had a club there after, well, before, really, in his career. Not talking about going way back in the days because he was an Evertonian player, but not playing much games, so he starts to play more at Stars League in, I think, Qatar. So you're seeing that Lloyd Kelly has been more outstanding than Mason Holgate, but not in terms of being more standing out than a Brentford player and a Saudi player in a Ethan Pinnock and Damian Lowe respectively. But looking on the heat map, this is where I am going to use to define how important Lloyd Kelly could have been. On that left-hand side, whereas we saw that Greg Lee plays a lot, we are seeing how dangerous this guy can be in the middle part of the field. That means he carries the ball quite well. He's disciplined in that area. He plays a high line. He knows how to make disciplined and constructive passes. As compared with a Ethan Pinnock and Damian Lowe, they are more so a bit more defensive, playing, let's say, both sides of the center back positions. But you're seeing how dominant a Lloyd Kelly is in his main position, and that is something that I see that would have stand out as well for the Jamaica men's national team. We're seeing that matches to compare in terms of minutes, Damian Lowe would have been the main man. So nothing really stands out for him in that case because he's basically outdone by Damian Lowe and an Ethan Pinnock in most cases, but we talk about the aerial duels one. He's above all players in that case. So, I mean, nothing to say then that he would dislodge these players, but remember, he would be a valuable asset, seeing that of how important he is in terms of his aerial duels, in terms of scoring goals. He's currently fit. He reads the game quite well. Could have started, could have been benched, but not to be somebody who should not be in the national team. Remember, this guy have the experience at the top level as well. So I think that is why Damian Lowe would outdo him in this case. Do you see Damian Lowe playing in the top 5 leagues in the world? Maybe not, but Lloyd Kelly has done so. So only an Ethan Pinnock could really talk and match up to this player. I talk about the fact that he plays in the Champions League and for Syria, our team Juventus. I mean, in Italy, defense is something that is very important, and he is good in terms of being tactical, handling pressure quite well, quality in terms of playing against opposition, very good in terms of leadership because I think he was a captain at Bristol City at one point as well. If not Bristol City, you can correct me. Also, is very good in terms of knowing to be athletic. He's physical because he's playing in the top five leagues. He has to be in that groove, in that shape. So Kelly's height, aerial ability, pace makes him good to deal with transitional attacks, crosses, and one-on-one duels. Jamaica often face fast attackers in CONCACAF. Kelly could help reduce this vulnerability. Keep on talking about his intelligence tactically, his ability to read the game, few mistakes, better positioning, which is crucial when defending laps can lead to goals in international matches. He is that man who would block and strengthen that left hand side. Versatility, score goals. Remember, can also play left back, but he's more so known as a centre back. So he's a very flexible player for a squad, for starting 11. Leadership and mental strength, his personal background, overcoming adversities, plus his performances under pressure in big games suggest mental resilience, the kind of character that will help Jamaica to be a stronger unit, especially at the back. So, people, what is your say on Lloyd Kelly? He may not have committed himself to play for Jamaica, but he does have the heritage. He hasn't get a chance to play for England at the senior level. This guy knows how to cover defensive gaps, step up in big matches, scoring in clutch moments. Reggae Boyz needs a player like this, you know. But I mean, I won't say much. It is for you, the fans, to let me know what your thoughts are about a Lloyd Kelly. Because of me, I would love, or I would have loved to see him representing Jamaica. Then again, Isaac Hayden was playing for Newcastle United, and this guy as well. So you know that partnership would have been stronger because they would have been in the same camp. But people, would it be a return to see both of them play? But let me know what you think in the comment section surrounding the topic though. Here's why Lloyd Kelly could have been Jamaica's defensive wall. I have said enough. Now it's time for you to let me know what you think. But people, don't forget to like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe to Premier 7 Road to 3,000 subscribers. I need this, and with your support, it will be a possibility. So you all take care. Goodbye until we meet again.